So perhaps I would like to join the conversation that is currently happening um, in South Africa pertaining foreigners. There is one conversation that we are not prepared to engage on, but I think I should remind each and one, each and every one of us, that it is not very important for us as foreigners to mind how South Africa is going to be after this 30 June. It is very important for us to understand that no matter how South Africa wants to fix its own problems, it is not important for us to worry what are the repercussions. What we should worry though about is two things. Is South Africa doing it within the confines of the law? I don't agree with South Africans when they dehumanize people and when they use violence and victimize people. It shows a level of ignorance, a level of immaturity, and perhaps uh, it's a sign of not appreciating that we are still within the same continent of Africa and we need each other tomorrow. However, having said that, as Africans in South Africa, I think we need to understand a very important point that South Africans are within their right to demand what exactly the direction that they want their country to go. It is within their right to restrain and call their government to action. And the message they are passing to us as foreigners that we must take with us is not anger. We must take that message that we need to hold our governments accountable. We need to demand what is right for from our governments. If we are not happy with the government that is in power, then we need to take the government out. We cannot survive as Zimbabweans, as Malawians, as Mozambicans by simply just leaving our countries and starting a life in another country. We need to take action about our lives. We need to hold our governments accountable. Perhaps this is the same reason why Zimbabwean government is not being proactive in assisting Zimbabweans to come back home because it knows that the pressure will be too much to bear. The current developments that are happening in Zimbabwe of amending the constitution really requires Zimbabweans to participate. And this is an important milestone. I so much wish that we can understand that if we have our grievances, we have to take them home to our government. If we have grievances, they cannot be sorted out in South Africa. Of course, we can blame former President Thabo Mbeki on how he dealt on the issue of Zimbabwe. But eventually, the problems in Zimbabwe have to be sorted out by Zimbabweans. We have to find a homegrown solution. I don't mind, even if it means an armed struggle have to be waged. Let it be. There are always going to be casualties in the war. Surprisingly enough, we have a lot of energy, we have a lot of facts, and we have a lot of courage to stand up against the South African government than our own governments. I would like to agree with one person who once said that Zimbabweans are not serious when it comes to things that are serious about their lives. Because the amount of conversation and participation that we do online and the amount of energy that we do put when it comes to nation building on its own, it's very appalling. The difference is very appalling. In 2023, I took a decision and went home to register to vote. And I voted. I participated in the national election because I had an outcome that I wanted. If the people in South Africa, who are originally from Zimbabwe, Malawi, and Mozambique, had taken their time like what they do when they go for Christmas, to go and participate in national elections, they would have managed to choose a government that would participate in the development of their country. Eventually, they would have gone home safely and in time. Maybe I'm being too harsh. I'm not siding with South Africans on the issue of using violence and dehumanizing people. But hey, I say, like I said, in a war, everything is possible. There are casualties. It cannot be a habit of South Africans to always use violence when they want to sort out the issues. But at the same time, I would like you to take note of the actions that you have taken personally as an individual. When you decided to come to South Africa, how much prepared were you in terms of documentation, in terms of being able to fend for yourself? Remember, it is not only okay to be loved by people who are white or the employer. It is okay for you or for me to abide by the laws of the country. I seem to happen to understand much because I had an interaction with foreigners when I was back home in Zimbabwe. And I know how it feels when a foreign person is not abiding by the law. It is not okay. If I bring you into my house, I expect you to respect my house, follow my rules. It's not negotiable. It's not negotiable. The way foreigners in South Africa torment, belittle, degrade, and insult the locals, you would think perhaps maybe when we came here, the industry was closed. We are only opened it now. Oh, fine, we are educated. But being educated without wisdom or intellect, it's equally the same. It's not being educated at all. When we came here, there was a thriving industry. We found a chance to come here simply because there were people who were hardworking to revive their economy, which we failed. In our own countries, we failed to revive our economy, even though we're educated, even though we are hardworking, but we failed. In South Africa's industries were working, and we decided to come here. So the least we can do is to give respect to the people of this land. The least we can do is to be humble, put our heads down, lay low, make our money, go back home. It is very important. I just thought I would share because most of us, we are much more concerned about how South Africa is going to be after this. I don't think it is of our concern. We do have our immediate problems. The logistics to move back home, and how we are going to resettle, and how we're going to restart our lives. So in a nutshell, how are we going to sort out our lives after South Africa? That is the most critical issue right now. Whatever South Africa will go through, they've been there. They are much more stronger. Perhaps out of all this, the most important thing is that we will find each other. We will reset our alarms. the white people in Zimbabwe who left during the land reform were equally in trouble like us. And I think if I've noticed quite well enough in the media, we seem to be finding each other. There's pretty quite a good relationship between the whites and the black Zimbabweans. And if we cannot seize that opportunity, it will be a shame on us. Let's work together, rebuild our country. Those who are going today, those who are coming tomorrow, and those who are coming next year, we still have a role to play in the national economy, in the rebuilding of our nation. We are stronger than this, but also we need to change our mindset. We need to reset our mindset, the way we think about our country, what we want from our country. We cannot disengage into politics. We cannot disengage into the economy because these are the backbones of what a nation is. We have to participate. We have to participate in the economy.